I woke up to the scent of burning sage and the sound of my wife chanting in our living room. Soft rhythmic murmurs echoing off the hardwood floors. At first, I thought she was meditating again, the way she did every morning after her online enlightenment classes. But when I stumbled out of bed and saw her suitcase by the door, half-zipped and brimming with clothes, my heart stopped. "Lila!" I croaked, throat dry, pulse roaring in my ears. "What's going on?" She turned, still in her white linen robe, her face glowing in the flickering candlelight. But it wasn't the soft glow I'd fallen in love with. It was something else. A zeal. A conviction that scared me more than any argument or cold silence ever had. "I'm leaving, Aaron," she said, her voice eerily calm. "I'm ascending." My body went cold. "Ascending?" She smiled faintly, eyes glistening. "You wouldn't understand. You're still trapped in the matrix." At first I laughed. An instinctive, brittle sound that cracked in my throat. "Is this about those YouTube retreats again? That guru guy, what's his name, Ryan?" Her expression shifted, a flash of irritation slicing through her serenity. "Don't mock what you don't comprehend. Ryan sees truth beyond the illusions of ego. He's helping me detach." I stared at her, trying to piece it together. The incense. The late-night energy sessions. The new lock screen photo. Some bearded man in a white tunic, hands raised to the sun. I joked once that he looked like a cult leader from a Netflix doc. She didn't laugh. Now, standing in front of me, she looked both fragile and frighteningly resolute. "Lila, is there someone else?" I asked quietly. She closed her eyes as if the question pained her. "It's not like that." That's how I knew it was exactly like that. The days that followed felt unreal, like living underwater. Every sound was muffled, every movement heavy. Her phone had been left behind, locked, glowing occasionally with messages from Ryan Sparkles. I told myself not to look. I lasted 6 hours. The texts were a mix of pseudo-spiritual jargon and intimacy that made my stomach twist. "You finally shed your lower attachments, my light. Tonight under the stars we'll merge our energies. No fear. Just truth." I dropped the phone. The sound echoed in the empty kitchen. That night I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch replaying every sign I'd missed, the distant look in her eyes during dinner, the way she stopped watching movies with me, saying they were too low vibration, how she started sleeping with a crystal under her pillow instead of my arm around her. Had I really been that blind? When she called 3 days later, my hands trembled before I picked up. "Aaron," she said softly, "please don't hate me." My throat tightened. "Just tell me where you are." "I'm at the retreat. Ryan's teaching us how to open our crown chakras. Beautiful. I've never felt so free." "Free?" I repeated. "From what, Lila?" "From me." Silence. Then, "You always tried to fix me, to ground me, but I don't want to be grounded anymore." I could hear laughter in the background, distant, carefree, unmoored. My stomach turned. "You said we were building something real," I said, voice breaking. "A home. A life. What happened to that?" "It was real," she whispered. "But real things evolve." Then she hung up. For weeks I drifted between anger and disbelief. I'd catch myself talking to her photos, as if she'd walk back through the door any moment with that sheepish grin. I replayed every argument, every moment of silence, searching for the fracture point. I even considered going there, to the retreat in the hills outside Sedona. But the thought of seeing her beside him, barefoot and radiant in her newfound freedom, made my chest ache. Still, one night I did. The dirt road wound through canyons and dust. The retreat wasn't a temple or even a center, just a cluster of tents around a bonfire. The air smelled of smoke and desert sage. I parked my car and walked closer unseen. And there she was, dancing barefoot under the stars, her laughter mingling with the crackle of flames. Ryan stood beside her, touching her face with a kind of theatrical tenderness that made bile rise in my throat. I wasn't sure if I wanted to scream or cry. But then she turned and our eyes met. For a moment her smile faltered. The spell broke. Later, she found me by the road as I sat in my car, engine off, staring at nothing. "You shouldn't have come," she said softly. "Then tell me to leave," I said. She hesitated. "This isn't about you and me anymore." I laughed bitterly. "It never is it? It's always about enlightenment, healing, vibration." Whatever word you used to justify breaking us. Her jaw tightened. You still don't see. Ryan helped me remember who I am. And who is that? I asked. She looked past me into the distance. Someone who doesn't need saving. Something inside me cracked then, not because of what she said, but because I realized she believed it. She wasn't pretending. She wasn't even cruel. She was gone. Not physically, spiritually, emotionally, entirely. I drove home at dawn. The horizon bled orange over the desert, and for the first time in weeks I didn't cry. I felt empty but calm. That night I boxed up her things. The crystals. The robes. The journal filled with affirmations about light and truth and transcendence. But when I reached the last page I froze. In faint, uneven handwriting she'd written, "If he ever finds this, tell him. I did love you. I just didn't love being me when I was with you." I sat there for a long time, the silence pressing down like a weight. Because she wasn't wrong. I had tried to fix her, to ground her, protect her, pull her back from every strange detour. I mistook control for care, logic for love. And maybe in leaving, she'd broken free of both of us. It's been 6 months. Sometimes I still catch the scent of sage in the apartment, faint and fading. I don't know if it's memory or imagination. I've stopped checking her social media. Stopped hoping for her return. But sometimes when I close my eyes I see her face illuminated by that fire. Alive, untethered, unreachable. And I wonder if maybe in her own strange way she did ascend. And me? Maybe I'm still here, still trapped in the matrix. But at least now I can see the code.